It's an ethical position that basically asserts that if you're going to perform an action, you should perform the action that increases pleasure and decreases pain for the greatest amount of persons possible. Okay? That's what utilitarianism is. And the idea is you can sacrifice a minority, if it's the case that by doing so, you create a net gain of happiness.
Women should teach their sons, starting at a tender age, do not hit a woman at all. At all. You're going to be the one more likely go to prison, go to jail, even if she initiated it. The police are going to come and haul you off 9 times out of 10. So it's so much against them hitting a woman back. It's so much that can go wrong on a man's behalf of just hitting a woman back that they should be taught under no circumstance, don't hit her back.
So his argument was nobody should be hitting anybody, which I agreed with. But the women kept saying, well, yeah, you're right. But, women should be able to hit men and men should just take it, because it really doesn't hurt you guys anyway.
I was saying that I think that Black women should be held accountable for some of the domestic violence rates in the community, because I feel like a lot of Black women teach their sons that if a girl hits you, you can hit them back. If she act like a man, well, you can treat her like a man. I feel like, look, I work in a school district, so I'm seeing them at elementary age, right? And I'm seeing mothers literally teaching their sons that if a girl hits you, you can hit her back if she hits you first. This is what I'm witnessing. I'm talking about with 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
See, you're socializing boys to be able to take emotional and physical abuse from women without any kind of repercussion, So the girls can free reign as to beat on you, spit on you, take you to court, lie on you with no kind of repercussion.
But we know that there's a difference between women physically and men physically. So let's make the scenario and say, what if a woman do get pissed off and slap you? Or what if a woman do get pissed off that you've done something to upset her, and we can make that scenario famous because that's real life and people that does happen. We live in a very violent world where people fight, people do hit each other, people get pissed and become violent. I'm saying in those scenarios, men need to practice restraint. They do not need to hit a woman back. They need to walk away. They'll be better off taking that hit and walking away than actually engaging with that woman. And this is what I see Black women teaching their boys.
This is my issue with this, right? Women have been arguing in behalf of equality of distribution. So they want distributive justice, and they want, equity related to that, but they don't want equity related to retributive justice.
Just generally, you should be calling the police.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed. I agree that nobody should be hitting anybody. But I'm telling you, as somebody that work in a school district, I do see young girls. First of all, women, we go through a lot with hormones, cycles start, and this, that, and girls be irritated.
See, no. I'm just
yes, it's true, famous.
That sounds like a whole bunch of excuse. You should not be hitting anyone. There is no excuse there is zero excuse for a woman hitting a person, man or woman, who did not hit them.
Okay, fine. We can agree. We agree on that part.
They don't want legal sanction.
Right.
They don't want social sanction. Yep. They don't want natural responses to anything that they do that's vicious.
Boys, men should not be taught that if a woman get irate with you, that you can smack her back. It doesn't work out well for them. Number one, they're gonna be the ones get arrested. So why would you even teach a boy to hit, or a man or anybody to hit a woman back? Because 9 times out of 10, the man is gonna be the one hauled off to jail, even if she started it.
And it's difficult to actually have serious conversations about justice, because in one vein, we have a policy, we have a law system that operates with women in a different manner than it operates for men, despite the letter of the law, which is often written very neutral
So you were saying black women should not teach their boys to hit back.
Right. They should teach their boys, do not hit girls like the white women do, like the Latino women do. They literally teach their boys not to hit girls. I don't see them in the office making excuses for their boys hitting a girl back. It's only with our women. But I'm more so talking about a self-control issue concerning boys at a young age. I see.
You said hit back, so there's obviously a self-control issue with girls too.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we put it in a bigger picture, overall, we are not taking you out of here. We're not unaliving you. So at the end of the day, I have to gear it more towards the boys and the men, because they are the ones that are lacking in that area.
Look, that's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in the natural world. It ought not happen in the social or legal world. But here we are in a position where we have to contend with assaults, insults, lies, innuendo about our, pathology and inherent brutality, or willingness to display it. So ultimately, we're scapegoats.
You say, I agree, but it happens. I don't say, but it happens. It should not.
Because women, if a woman, first of all, women, let's be clear. Don't not just hit men, women. We're not you, Themis. Even if I smack you, I'm not gonna. Most women are not their husbands and boyfriends.
Which is more of a reason why you shouldn't be hitting men.
Listen, I agree. I agree. But I'm saying black women at an early age should teach their boys not to touch a woman, regardless of the circumstance.
You're socializing boys to be able to take emotional and physical abuse from women without any kind of repercussion.
The but they do part. So like we end up at nowhere.
But they do. We have to put but they do part, because that's what's happening.
So the girls can free reign as to beat on you, spit on you, take you to court, lie on you with no kind of repercussion.
Agreed, but women should teach their girls also not
Agreed.
to... Yeah,
agreed.
Right, so we agree. So no one should be hitting anyone.
Right, but if it happens, Demons, listen. If it happens, you have to teach boys earlier on, Themis, because they're going to grow up and they have a capability of taking a woman out of here. So they need to teach them early on
to control themselves. I agree.
Yes.
So I do agree. If like when you're physically stronger than people, I think you have a bigger responsibility to protect. That's not a good answer. It's not a useful answer.
What thing is acting like violence should not occur is not a useful answer either, because
so you want violence to occur, but you only want violence to occur from the woman to the man.
If you want to put it like that, fine, because at the end of the day, we're not going to unalive you.
On the show, we're arguing that men should just take abuse and that they should not respond, boys and men. They should just receive it. And it was a trip to watch Themis, who's a black male feminist.
And when it does happen, we have to teach our boys more self-control. Themis, I mean, I'm going to keep going back to it, because if we don't teach the boys more self-control, they're going to grow up and unalive a woman. So we have to put the but in the if in there. If a woman hits you, don't hit her back.
Actually arguing against women who were trying to get him to accept the notion that women should not be responded to and men shouldn't even defend themselves when abused.
Yeah.
They should have the book thrown at them if they respond.
One thing is it's relevant. The thing you're socializing boys to be able to take emotional and physical abuse from women without any kind of repercussion. So the girls can free reign as to beat on you, spit on you, take you to court, lie on you with no kind of repercussion.
First and foremost, man, that's a utilitarian argument. Okay, and I don't know if you know what utilitarianism is.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
it's an ethical position that basically asserts that if you're going to perform an action, you should perform the action that increases pleasure and decreases pain for the greatest amount of persons possible. Okay, that's what utilitarianism is. It's developed by an Enlightenment philosopher named Jeremy Bentham, and the idea is you can sacrifice a minority. If it's the case that by doing so, you create a net gain of happiness. It's called or a hedon or something like that. That's why it's called the hedonic calculus. I mean, you use it in order to determine if that action is going to produce the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest amount of persons possible. Okay. Now, my viewpoint on it is, like all you have to do is just if you have a basic education, you'll understand that the weaknesses inherent in this kind of position.